Hey guys, it's Danny. As promised, today we are looking at the Zygopetalums, and this is the extent of my entire collection. And finally, I have success. Now, I'm gonna show you each one of them real quick, and maybe we're gonna do some work on one of them because I think, where is you? Okay. We have a rotten pseudobulb on this one and we need to remove it. I'm not sure if I need to unpot it. If I do, that's gonna be great to see the root system, right? So I'm gonna be telling you how I grow them now, how I managed to find success, pretty much what happened along the way. So if you end up enjoying your time and hanging out with me, don't forget to give this video a like. Why not subscribe? I post multiple times a week, but if you're feeling extra about it, do consider further supporting my channel by becoming a member, using the affiliate links, checking out the merch, or using the super thanks option down below my video. Right. With that said, let's start. I'm gonna take them one by one just to declutter my little table. Yes, by the way, I changed my location. Not sure if you can see, but I have my detolfs here. I have my shelves in the back. I'm opposite to where I used to be. Yeah, I moved things around. I'm gonna give you a tour very soon, around Christmas. It's gonna be a Christmas present. So let's just start with the guy that has the rotten pseudobulb, right? You lads can sit here on my laptop, why not? And the coffee can sit right here where I can reach it. It's currently 6 in the morning. I need more coffee. Let's stop blabbing. So, this is the beautiful green and white Zygopetalum, green and white lip. I didn't manage to ID these guys, so on the tag, I just wrote down their description so I know who I'm losing when I'm losing. Luckily, I didn't lose a Zygo in a while. And if you guys remember, a while back, I made a video in which I potted them in soil. I think that was a couple of years ago at this point. And well, that worked out pretty great. I did at some point switch the pots to some plastic ones because I acquired the Visto shelves. Oh, this was a long time ago now that I think about it. So those pots were really, really heavy. And soil itself became really, really heavy. And I thought, well, what else can kind of act like soil if not sphagnum moss? So at some point, I think last year, maybe a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, I did switch my Zygopetalums to sphagnum moss and plastic pots and very light plastic pots or metal pots, just because of the shelves, just because I didn't want to be necessarily confined to keeping them in a very secure place. I wanted to put them wherever I felt like, so I needed to make them light. Luckily, the switch worked just great. So in my experience, the Zygos for me did better in soil and sphagnum moss, not combined, either or, than they did in a bark mixture. I think they really dislike to get dry, and in my environment, it is very prone for them to get dry. So I kind of need to adapt my ways a little bit. Many people can get away with bark or cocoa husk or things of the sorts. I cannot. And if I cannot, I'm not gonna be pushing it. I'm not gonna insist. I'm gonna find different ways. So this is the one that's doing the worst, but it is actually doing well. We have some new growths here. And I actually restarted this one basically off of a Backbulb. Yeah, the orchid should be a lot bigger, but this was just a Backbulb. I really wanted to have this one because I didn't see it for sale in flower shops all that often. I didn't see it ever since I purchased it 2 years ago or so, or more. So I really wanted to save it. It's gonna take a long time, but yeah, it's still around. It still has new growths, but out of everybody, yeah, he's the poorest looking one. So today I really want to remove that rotten pseudobulb. This might mean that we need to unpot it, which is fine because guess what? I can reuse the moss. This is a very good quality moss. Even if it's been in here for a year, I'm not gonna toss it away because this moss can last me 3 years. Or, I mean, actually we'll see. The plan is not to throw away the moss, but we'll see what we're gonna do. Maybe we can just remove this one without removing the plant. I don't know, I'm gonna see about it, okay? We're gonna see what to do. So this has been the poorest looking one, but it's okay. He is pulling through. I actually notice if they go downhill, they don't recover all that fast, kind of like Tillumnias. Did you guys experience this? All right, this is the only one with a proper tag because I purchased it from my favorite orchid seller. This is Zygopetalum Mackay, and I wanted this one so much because not only is it a species, but it's also a very beautiful species. And my first favorite orchid YouTuber, Brad 10 years ago, 11 years ago, he made a video on his Makai that won a prize in his Orchid Society, and the flowers were beautiful, and he was saying it's so fragrant and so nice, and I thought one day I will find myself a Makai and I will have it. And well, again, a couple of years ago, or this is actually recent, maybe a year ago, I found it for sale, I ordered it, and this is the guy. He is quite robust as I can see, lots of new growths, but he was a little stressed as well. I managed to damage quite a bit of roots, but now we're looking pretty alright, I would say. By the way, you might see on the leaves some white specks and white fluff. Yeah, it's bird and fluff. At some point I had their cage very close to these guys. I think I have some feathers in the pots as well. So their fluff reached them, and because I spray them with leaf shine against pests, their leaves are slightly sticky, so all of this fluff just stuck to their leaves. It's okay, in the summertime I can wash them, I can shower them. Now, no water on their leaves. But yeah, that's the fluff, it's not a pest, it's not mealybugs. So yeah, slowly and surely this one is recovering as well after I kind of decimated the root system there for a while. But he's okay. And by the way, I did notice something. There are some orchids which after I apply leaf shine, that leaf shine kind of tends to evaporate really fast. And there are some orchids on which that leaf shine sticks a little bit longer. These are some of them. I didn't spray these guys in a lot of time, and I can still feel a slight stick, which is great because this is how I can keep them pest-free. They're currently not infested. They're clean. And that's just because they hold on to that leaf shine. I know, Cattleyas don't. Cattleyas are dry within a day or something. Next up, here is a feather. All right. This one suffered a lot. Again, I had an immature growth, and then a tiny little growth appeared, and then the next growth started to take off. This is Zygopetalum green small. Again, I don't know what it is, but I decided to put the description on the tag. So again, this one was in a pretty precarious condition. The problem again is that the growth is growing on top of the previous growth. So those roots need to travel a little bit to reach the potting mix. They don't have to travel a lot, and I'm very tempted to remove these leaves, these older leaves from the bottom, just so they have free access to the potting mix. I might do that off camera. I'm gonna remove some of these dried bits as well. But again, overall, he's pulling through. With these guys, you'll notice crinkling of the leaves again when they have hydration issues, pretty much like Oncidiums. Even though they are different genera, they are very similar to Oncidiums. And I do believe they are considered Oncidium alliance. Maybe just like how Alisaras or Odontoglossums or things of the sorts are, I think these ones are considered quote-unquote Oncidiums as well. Ooh, need to brush up on my knowledge there, but anyway, their genus is called Zygopetalum. Right. Next up, another guy that I was thinking maybe I should intervene and do some cleaning up, but I don't think so. We just have a few leaves that are dried. Also with this one, I see roots coming out of the bottom, so maybe I don't want to disturb him. No, I'm just gonna tidy him up as we go along. Just gonna remove the old leaves. Also, I need to cut away the old leaf tips. This is dehydration damage, which happens a lot in my environment if I don't keep my orchids hydrated. And with Zygopetalums, there was an issue there with bark, but no more. We are good now. This one looks pretty awesome. These two growths, which are the latest ones, they do look very good. I do not see a flower spike, but it is okay. Time is not lost, and the fact that we have roots, that's great. This one doesn't even have a description. This is just a Zygopetalum. I have no idea what it is. Might be that one that looks like the Louisendorf, the one that is brown. I do believe that's the one because all of these special quote-unquote ones, I made sure to put the description on the tag. If this one doesn't have a description, I think I know who he is. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he's a typical looking one. But yeah, he's one of the best, actually. He's getting to look quite nice. And the last one, this one is the best, actually. Who are you? Again, Zygopetalum without a description, so he's one of those very common one. I do see a lot of roots on the bottom as well, and look at this guy. So this is the oldest growth. This is one of the newer growths. Look how big it is. The second to last growth, and this is the new growth that just started right now. He looks good. This one looks very, very good. Full of fluff, but very good. So yeah, I think he's doing great. I see a lot of roots on this guy. Maybe, hopefully, this growth will decide to bloom. They produce flower spikes on immature growths, but they need to grow a little bit more than this. So yeah, fingers crossed. This one has a lot of potential to bloom. And when he does, I'm gonna be sure to write on the tag what he is, or at least a description. And these are all my Zygopetalums, and I do believe if I see them for sale again, especially if it's something that I don't have, I will be buying them and I'll put them directly into sphagnum moss. Add some slow release fertilizer in the pots as well. I always do that with all of my orchids, and yeah, I'm gonna take you along. Again, if I find zygos for sale, they're not very common in this region because they tend to bring whatever people buy, and people buy Phalaenopsis. And in Cyprus, you know, a country with 1 million people, you can imagine we don't have such a big market. So if somebody brings zygos, it's just gonna be like a pallet of 12 zygos for the entire island or something. Yeah, what to do? Am I gonna go cry in the corner about it? Yeah, I'm gonna deal with it and do the best that I can. I'm happy I have some Zygopetalums at least. Righty. So now let's work on that sad boy, which, you know what? I think we can do this without having to unpot him. We might have to. We'll see. Where are my gloves? Oh, I rearranged everything and I don't know where I put everything. All right, let's see. Maybe this will be done in 2 seconds. Who knows? Ta-da! I thought I was doing something interesting here, but no. Let's dig down and see if we have rotten roots. You know what the problem is? The problem is this guy is very wobbly, very loose, and I don't know if that Backbulb had roots and now they're rotting in the medium. Should we go for it? Should we unpot it and just take a look-see and see what we have? Let's do it. Let's see. Ta-da! I have a place for my tray as well. Many of you asked me about this tray. It's an IKEA tray. It's one of the more popular ones. You can definitely find it in the kitchen section. So let's see. The bark I can always replace, and I should replace more often than the sphagnum moss, but the moss should be very good. So I do expect a few roots, but not very many. Let's see what we have. Yeah, we have dead roots. A good thing we unpotted it, and we just have a few good roots starting from these new growths. Okay, I'm not gonna mess around too much with them. What I'm gonna do is remove the bad roots. Ooh, they don't smell good, you guys. They don't. They smell pretty bad. All right, so one dead root. It's really easy to see which are dead. They're brown, mushy, and generally looking like they're not having a good time. Ta-da! And you too. And another one here. And another here. This one? Oh, you're not alive anymore either. Okay, and everything else, I'm not even going to touch. It's gonna stay like this. I don't want this orchid to feel it has been disturbed or anything. Okay, I just found a few more here and I just need to get rid of them. I do want to remove these sheaths as well, but I don't want to mess around too much. The sheaths on Zygopetalums can be quite strong. Even if they are not alive anymore, they can be tricky to remove. Okay, we cleaned him up really nice. We can definitely reuse the pot. He doesn't even know we did something. How can he know? He won't know. Just put the sphagnum moss back in. I just watered them. I knew I was gonna have to work on him, so I made sure to water him extra well. He's gonna be wet for a while, but it's okay. Zygopetalums like it. Righty, so putting back the moss, very fluffy, very nice. I will add a few more slow release beads because these guys, when did I pot him? In April this year. Yeah, they're kind of depleted. Not that they need a lot of fertilizer now in the winter, but oh boy, you guys, we had such a warm winter. My Phalaenopsis are just now spiking. They're gonna be so late. It's one of those years with a very, very warm Christmas, which happens around here sometimes. This moss is in tip-top condition. It smells actually very good. It doesn't smell bad at all. It looks like I just potted this orchid in this moss. Such good quality moss. And I'm not affiliated with the brand or anything. I genuinely like it. Hence why I decided not to combine it with the bark anymore because the bark would break down faster than the moss. Can you believe it? Right. So I'm just gonna top it off with brand new bark since that bark looks a little doubtful. There we go. I forgot to add slow-release fertilizer, didn't I? It's okay, in the spring, not now. They don't need it all that much right now. In the spring, I'm gonna have to refresh the fertilizer for everybody, so no harm done. But anyway, there we go. He is all potted up, looking nicer. Well, obviously he doesn't have that rotten pseudobulb there anymore, and I feel much, much better and much more relieved now that we got rid of this. This did its job, and if you didn't know that sympodial orchids, especially the ones that produce pseudobulbs, if you didn't know they could be propagated through backbulbs, they can. The rate of success is not 100%. Some of them will take, some will not. It's gonna take a heck of a lot of time. But if you have that very special orchid that you simply want to have, definitely don't throw away backbulbs if you have any, because you can restart it in a few years. Alrighty, so that was about it for today and for this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you're into aquariums, check out my second channel. It's called Danny MOG. I think the link below doesn't say Danny MOG, but I think it should redirect you there anyway. If not, just type it, you're gonna find it. I have very exciting content to come on the aquarium channel. I'm really happy that I started my initial hobby once again, but for everything related to orchids, subscribe to this channel. Alrighty, that's it. I'll see you all next time. Bye!